Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have a live tournament action coming at you. And guess what? It will be another TvT. MaSa and Zabro. Gosh, I can't even tell you how excited I am for this TvT matchup. These are some of my favorite Terran players right here. Going to be battling it out. MaSa, what a phenomenal player this guy has been. Quite a supporter of ALT-Stracraft. In the past, for months and months, this guy has been coming out and joining our tournaments. Really giving us a great show, always very considerate of other players, and always does a great job inviting me to his games. It's just so helpful to have a player like him around. Zabro becoming the same type of person. He's relatively new to the scene compared to MaSa, but that's okay. Everybody's got to show up sometime, right? You can't all show up at the same time. And Zabro, quite an impressive player in his own right. I love his TvT style. We just saw him just do a phenomenal job versus Maui Wowie, who is not a joke player, man. I'll tell you what, Maui Wowie is not an easy walkover. And Zabro just made it look easy in some regards there. But MaSa will be our purple Terran, kicking it here at the 9 o'clock position. And we are on GSL's, I forgot the name of this map. I really did forget the name of this map. It's not Crevasse, it's the other one. Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm going to go check real quick. Terminus! There we go. Gosh, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I'm going to tell you what, man, I only got a couple hours of sleep last night, and it is taking its toll. Taking its toll indeed. But MaSa here at the 9 o'clock position, he is that purple color. Zabro is pink. So pink and purple, not that big of a deal with TvT as it is with ZVZ, but still, it's relatively close. These colors, they do make a little bit of a difference. The SCVs, actually the SCVs aren't that bad. So you can see the pink on the SCV is pretty good. Marines, they're a little bit more difficult, but not nearly as bad as Lings and Banelings. That's what's really difficult with these color schemes. But Zabro is going to be tossing down 2 racks here. And it looks like MaSa going to be going for just the one for now. And playing defensively, I would assume here. Oh, Factory going down ASAP for MaSa. Wow. And just 1 gas. Not taking a second gas quite yet. So it does look like a 1-1-1 here. Gas, or with just the 1 gas, means that we're probably not going to see Cloak. But a 1-1-1 indeed is a pretty nice play. Or he could be going for that Mass Marine and Mass Hellion opener, which is a pretty good play as well. Notice he's going to be securing his wall off here. Pretty good time. Zabro without 2 racks. Pressure should be headed out across the field here in just a little bit. Notice he has been scouting around the map. He did scout the incorrect direction first, but that's okay. He doesn't know where his opponent is. Now going to try and cruise up there to gather a little bit of intel. But MaSa should be in great position to stave that guy off from scouting this 1-1-1. He may force the scan here. That's going to be big. Notice the starport going down in great time. Still no second gas, means we are definitely going to be playing this on the cuff. MaSa he's so good with his timing, so good with his build orders. He's one of those guys who can pull things off without that extra gas income, which will give him a pretty solid bit of extra income. Notice he is going to, wow, look at this. He is going to send his first Hellion out here very, very quickly. Going to go ahead and deny this SCV. Taking that guy down, but look at this Zabro tossing down a command center exactly where he wants it. Not scared at this point. He's playing this very aggressively here yet again. A Reaper coming out onto the field. Looks like this guy probably going to cruise out across the field, I would assume. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to try and pop up into his opponent's base. Notice that MaSa going to be tossing down a supply depot here. Wow. Beautiful play. This makes it very difficult for him to even to jump up. He can't jump up right here on the corner. He's going to have to jump up right here or right here to be effective. So that's going to give MaSa plenty of time to get himself in position. And Reaper, not going to last. No damage dealt there. Great defense there from MaSa. He did, however, get a little bit of scouting intel. Let's just check and see what he saw. No, he did not make it in far enough. Did not make it in far enough to see the starport. He probably can guess at it at this point. He's got to be relatively familiar with this type of play, but did not scout it, and I know he was trying to get in there for that scout. But he did see a lot of Hellions here, and it looks like MaSa is going to get aggressive here. He's got a phenomenal supply count right now, tossing down an expansion of his own in the meantime, but going to drop this position. And Hellions now going to be out on the field, up on the high ground here as well. Beautiful play. Zabro in a lot of trouble here. MaSa going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage. Look at this, how many units are living through this. Now with the possibility to take out a decent amount of workers killed, this is going to put MaSa ahead in this matchup. Wonderful play here from MaSa. Zabro, for the first time in a good long while, we are seeing Zabro actually have a little bit of trouble with one of his Terran opponents, and we had to bring MaSa in to do that. Unbelievable. This is a really, really big play here for MaSa. It looks like he is going to cruise in with a couple more units, clearing out what's down here on the low ground, and now is going to back out with a couple of Marines. But beautiful play there. Looks like the defenses here for Zabro will hold for the moment, but he is in dire straits right now. Economically, he is down to 17 SCVs, 28 there for MaSa, and MaSa does have his expand up and running just now. Looks like he's still behind on that orbital command. That's the only thing for right now that's great for MaSa, is he will have double the mules for just a few moments. That should allow him just enough time to catch up his economy a little bit, and that's what he's going to need to do here. Is really get his economy rolling and get up a serious amount of defensive units, and great positioning is absolutely going to be key here, because guess what? MaSa is headed in here yet again, and he does have a Banshee now out on the field, and that is going to make things much, much more difficult. I love it. Icefire on the live stream saying, line them up. We saw those SCVs line up to those Hellions there. Is never a fun position to be in when your name is Zabro. Looks like MaSa is going to commence with some Banshee harass here at the mineral line. But oh, look at this. We do have that missile turret at the ready. Great control here from MaSa, however. It is going to be extremely difficult for Zabro to deal with. And now MaSa trying to contemplate whether or not he wants to cruise into this position. Looks like he may bide his time, but oh, great positioning here from these Marines. Doing a little bit more damage to these Banshees. Great control again, though, from MaSa. Gotta love the micro on MaSa. He's able to really keep these units alive very, very well. I do expect to see him send a couple of SCVs out across the field here to do some repair on these Banshees. Looks like these Banshees should get a free supply depot kill here, which is not a bad little deal. But, yep, there's one free kill. That's not bad. I mean, every little bit counts at this point, and MaSa is going to back out. He feels like Zabro has been able to catch up his economy there a little bit and catch up his defenses, and that's the big point. MaSa not going to overcommit to any of these attacks. He is always so good at playing very, very safe. Looks like we are going to see some Hellions cruising down to the low ground here. Should be able to clean up this one single solitary Marine here. Oh, nope, they're going to bypass him. Right up to the mineral line here. Nice little play. Should pick up a couple of worker kills. Not a bad deal. Oh, look at that. Focusing him down there very, very well. Great defense there from Zabro, but still MaSa picked up quite a few workers killed. It's up to 16 now. That is brutal stuff. It looks like we're going to endure another round of Banshee harass. Still no repair down on these guys, which strikes me as a little bit strange, but that's okay. It looks like Zabro going to take this opportunity to go for a drop of his own. Now, he could do a lot of damage here. There's no defenses in the backside of this main. Great reaction time here, though, for MaSa. Is going to evac all of these SCVs, get these guys to safety. Notice he is tossing down his third at this point. But Zabro will pick up quite a few kills here. Probably going to see him focus down these add-ons. Tech Lab should go down. Oh, he's taking down the entire factory as well. Tank out on the field, though, for MaSa. And here comes his defensive units. Looks like he should clean this up pretty well. Notice the supply counts here. MaSa way ahead right now. One medevac goes down. It was not the one that was full, so lucky there for Zabro. But he did focus down that factory, and it looks like MaSa is going to rebuild this thing ASAP. Absolutely agree with that, but he does have his third orbital. Well, actually, it's just a command center for now, but I do assume it will be an orbital here in just a few moments. At the ready, he's going to move these destructible rocks here. He's got these guys right here, these couple Marines. Hard-working Marines going to be working out of here for him. Looks to be in great shape. Zabro does have a tech lab of his own now on a factory, tossing out some tanks of his own. He's already got 2 on the field. Nice little defensive position here. I loved that drop from Zabro. It really, really bought him, I think, some time to start getting himself together in this matchup. And now MaSa is taking this opportunity to expand. It's going to make a big deal here economically for him, getting that expand in position. Notice the supply count here, or sorry, the SCV count, 54 to 36, still favoring MaSa very, very heavily. Oh man, he's just in phenomenal shape. Just in phenomenal shape. But it looks like Zabro are going to be going for a push here. Now, I sort of disagree with this. I do believe that MaSa is going to have plenty of defensive units here. Trying to catch his opponent a little bit out of position. The tanks do siege up there fairly quickly. MaSa not sieging his tank, however. But, oh my goodness, big change of events there. Zabro taking down MaSa's army very, very quickly. MaSa did overcommit. He's going to have to pull a lot of SCVs. Going to need a siege tank out on the field here quickly to try and defend this, but I don't even think he's got siege researched at this point. And Zabro now in phenomenal position to start putting MaSa behind. There we go. He's cleaning up. MaSa's cleaning these Marines up there just a few at a time. He's trying to stay out of range of those siege tanks where possible, but these siege tanks now just blasting away. Zabro in a nice little position. Here comes your attack. MaSa got to clean it up right here or he's going to really be in trouble. Taking out the tanks as quickly as he can, but look at that. Getting cleaned out again by Zabro, and Zabro in phenomenal shape. MaSa still could potentially be ahead if he gets this cleaned up right here, right now. But he is in a little bit of trouble. Here comes a couple more Marines. Is it going to be enough? This one siege tank that's sieged up is still blasting away there very, very heavily. Taking out those Marines, and MaSa going to have to back out up to the high ground here with his Marines. He's waiting for a couple more units. Probably going to see him move out as quickly as he can. He cannot afford these losses that he's sustaining right now. Beautiful play here from Zabro. Love this turn of events here. It is a best of one here, unfortunately. My goodness. And look at this. Zabro splitting his army, really taking out a lot of units here. Great positioning of those Marines. Killing off these SCVs one or two at a time. And here comes your last tank. Last push from MaSa. He's absolutely got to take these guys out. Looks like he does outnumber these guys here finally for the first time in a little while. Up to 74 supply still. He's hanging on in a pretty big way, but it is definitely not enough at this point. Let's just check in on that units tab. Wow, look at that. Zabro now with the economic lead. He did take a 15 harvester lead out of that deal, killing a heck of a lot of those workers off. Checking that workers killed, it is Zabro in favor there. 36 workers killed now for Zabro. This is a really, really big change of events. Notice that he is going to be securing his third here momentarily, tossing these destructible rocks and debris out into space. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And landing his next orbital command in this position. That's a beautiful play there from Zabro. Really paid off that push. Absolutely paid off. And he's got a great defensive position. Notice he's going to be tossing down some engineering bays here. Getting an armory as well. So going to see some upgrades, I would assume, for his tanks. MaSa trying to retake his confident position here. But he is moving into the center of the map. Going to try and put his tanks in position to do some serious damage. Zabro doing the same thing. We're going to see some tank wars here for just a little bit, it appears, which means probably a little bit slower paced game. Might see MaSa and Zabro start to expand elsewhere across this map. Not a bad idea. Can be fairly effective. I would like to see MaSa take this position with a planetary. I think that is a nice little deal. And somebody could potentially go for some air superiority in this particular type of matchup. And that tends to be very, very good. I would like to see a couple, more than just medevacs, maybe a couple of your Vikings out on the field. Look at this. MaSa cruising up, sniping those tanks, and now tanks in position to clear out Zabro's Marines there. Pretty good little play there for MaSa. He didn't commit very many Marines to take out those tanks and did indeed take them out fairly quickly. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. But the supply counts have evened up here quite a bit, but Zabro is taking the lead here with his upgrades. +1 going down. Actually, look at this. MaSa not too far behind. He's got his +1 going down for the vehicle weapons, but +2 weapons for infantry is big right now for Zabro. That is going to be really, really nice advantage for him. +1 is complete for MaSa. Probably need to see him grab that, but look at this engagement here. We got to move these things just so we can see what's going on. So we can get down underneath here. These tanks trying to hold on for MaSa. We've got these tanks up here on the high ground. Looks like they will go down, and MaSa calling down a mule in the midst of battle, trying to get some repair down on his tanks. Wasn't quite able to do it, but still has Marines at the ready and going to have to back out here. It looks like too many tanks here for defense of Zabro. This is so much back and forth that I just can't believe these guys. Absolutely crazy town. Scan going down wants to reveal what's going on exactly here. But I'll tell you, MaSa is not going to give up easy. He is one of those that will try and try again. Never gives up until it is absolutely just completely impossible. Looks like a drop down here to the low ground. I love this little play here. Going to start to split his units up here. He's really going for this push. But his tank's in pretty good position. He's using mules here to keep his siege tanks nice and healthy. Are these guys going to be able to do any decent amount of damage? Looks like yes, they will for just a few moments. Picking them up, maybe? Nope, never mind. Zabro, pretty good shape, but MaSa for the first time in a little while has a significant... Oh, I just evened out, never mind. But he did have a supply lead there for just a few moments. But now Zabro back in the lead. There's a lot of back and forth between these guys. Look at this. I mean, I can't even hardly keep track of what these guys are microing. It's just unbelievable. But MaSa has got so many tanks now in phenomenal position. Looks like Zabro is hunkered down here pretty good on his solid 3 base play, though. And I mean, this is going to be difficult. Absolutely difficult here for Zabro to break this line, though. And MaSa is keeping him stuck in his base, trying to pick away at his forces just a little bit here and there. That does give MaSa free reign in a lot of ways back at his main to either start expanding and working on his upgrades as quickly as possible. Pretty good on these upgrades here for both players. Looks like MaSa is working now on his +2 armor as well as his +1 weapons. He's got to get that one out. That is where Zabro does have the lead for now, but if he waits too long to utilize it, it will even out here fairly quickly. So, and I assume that MaSa will have +3/+3 behind here very, very shortly. He does have 2 upgrades going at once, where Zabro's only got 1 at a time for now. But it's still a bunch of tanks here. Looks like MaSa killing off quite a few SCVs here. Good repairs going down on this orbital. Zabro holding on for dear life right now, but great play. We do have 1 tank now in the range of this orbital command. Is really going to keep the pressure on this base. Zabro going to be cruising forward, trying to take this tank out, but look at this tank positioning here for MaSa. He's calling down mules here to keep repairs going down, and here comes your main attack for Zabro. He's got to take it down right now, it appears. Getting his tank sieged up in this nice little line. Is he going to be able to do it? We've still got this tank here at the ready, blasting these guys away, and MaSa taking a very, very significant lead. Unbelievable. Look at this. He is going to be clearing out this orbital command. I don't believe that Zabro's got the defenses necessary to hold on to this position. You can see him transferring his workers out of here, and there is the GG. Unbelievable. MaSa taking down Zabro in just a phenomenal back and forth matchup here. Crazy absolute train. These guys are phenomenal. Congratulations to MaSa. Thanks to Zabro for coming out and playing with us, man. We are so very excited to see this guy play in the monthly and hopefully in tomorrow night's tournament as well. But thanks again to everybody out there for watching. Don't alt-tab. Don't you dare alt-tab. You always alt Starcraft. Catch you guys in our next game.